Okay, we're here for our second Coach Basics call, and we're going to go over some systems, inviting, and some basics to starting, our first free challenge and what that process looks like, from inviting to creating an image to all the steps on Facebook to run our first group. And so I'm going to walk you through all of those steps. The first thing I want to talk about is inviting. So as you start to invite, challengers to either a free challenge or a paid challenge, you should have on our Balance Bound team page, if you go to the files section, you can find an inviting sample. That inviting sample is there for you, this exact conversation of how you can invite for a challenge pack. And it literally is copy and paste, and of course, always, always, always personalized. And that system works. So utilize that system that's in there. And then there's also a document that says invite, invite, invite. And that is a basic document to go through from beginning to end as far as what steps to start with. So we will look at those two things, and I will screen share with you guys so that you can see what I'm talking about. So when we go into, you're going to see my Facebook, and you'll see that when you go and click at the top to your home, that's where you're going to find on the left-hand side your columns for your groups and things like that. So I always put the groups that I'm constantly working on in here, the left-hand, in my what you call favorites. So if you want to know and be able to find a group quickly, make sure that you put it in your favorites when you open that group or edit that group. So you'll see Balance Bound is our first group here. That's our team page. So you click on that and you go to the files section. And this is where you're going to find files here that are going to continue to grow. Invite sample is the one I was talking about the challenge pack when you're sharing with customers. And if you scroll down here to invite, 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 and let's just say we click on that, I always encourage you guys to download any of these documents that are in the group. They're here for you. They're not here for you to edit, but they're here for you to save. So make sure that you create a Balance Bound or Beachbody folder on your desktop or somewhere in your computer where you can find it and keep all of your documents organized. So you would download it for yourself. Here right now, we'll just preview it. And when you get into it, this is basically how you want to get started, is you want to create a list of 100 people. Think of everybody that you know that you might be able to share this healthy lifestyle with, people that are close to you, friends and family, even strangers, colleagues. Just make a list, just write it down. And you're going to want to try and start thinking about talking to 3 to 5 new people every day, whether it's in person, on the phone, with family, on Facebook. Connect with 3 to 5 people every day consistently, and the more consistent you are with that, the more you be able to grow your business in the long term, because it does take consistency. And when you do message somebody on Facebook, personally message them and privately message them, those, like, Facebook kind of has algorithms to how people see things in your news feed. And if you're talking to them privately on Facebook, you're bound to pop up in their news feed. So then they'll get to kind of see what you're doing when you're posting. So that also goes with, make sure that you're posting 2 to 3 times a day as consistently as you can. And it doesn't have to be about health and fitness at all. But we try to say once a day, maybe about health and fitness, one a day about just growing, being a leader, a positive motivation, a recipe, a picture of your meal, working out, just one thing a day maybe about the lifestyle that you're living now, so that people start to understand where you're at. We've already talked about the National Wake Up Call and making sure that that's on there. That's going to keep you motivated, and hearing success stories on tips and tools that work. Make a list of people that you think would be willing to support your journey right in the beginning. People that will be a reference for you, that will be a testimonial for you. Ask a favor, somebody that can help you while you're getting started. Somebody that might be willing to do a before and after picture. Somebody that may be willing to try Shakeology. And then here's just some great tips. Team Phoenix is our mother company in a sense, so you should all be on the Team Phoenix Facebook page. If you're not, make sure that we get you on there ASAP. And in their files section, you'll find a right down here, a Team Phoenix page for the team call library. And that's always great personal and professional development, is to get those team calls. So this Tips for Successful Inviting is just one of those calls. And clients and customers, here are 2 examples of how you can invite to clean eating and free challenges. Just saying that, hey, I'm participating in this group. It focuses on clean eating. My coach will provide all of these things, and all I do is check in daily. I get new recipes and tips, and I want to know, would you want to do it with me? So they're always just really casual, and of course, these are personal messages that you're sending to people. And going down, and immediately you're thinking about inviting people to the business and coaches, because you're here for a reason. You've obviously had a success story, and you want to be able to share that lifestyle with somebody else, and also it's somebody that's interested in some just a little extra money, supplemental income, and potentially maybe they're leaders or they want to live this lifestyle ongoing. And so you're thinking about inviting them to get a discount on Shakeology, and perhaps they might grow into a coach and be able to, you'll be able to help guide them in growing some financial stability as well, which is really exciting. So make sure that you check out this document when you're inviting to the business. You always want to, these are the 5 or the 6 steps to inviting to the business, and you can find this also in your back office in the Coach Basics. There's a document about inviting, and so make sure that you have gone over that. If you haven't, it is in Coach Basics training in our Facebook group of Be Your Own CEO. So make sure that you're in that training group, because you're going to go through all of these steps and find these documents as well. But you're always complimenting people on what you feel like they've done well in the challenge, and always, always, always a disclaimer, like, I don't know if this is something you'd want to do, like no pressure, just sort of taking that pressure off of them so you can just have a conversation. And then relate it to why and how it's affected you and why it's worked in your life. And then always, if I sent along a video, would you watch it? That's a great next step. And don't just send the video. And that video might be one of the ones below. You'll see these are 3 videos that are sort of my go-tos. This is a 7-minute introduction from Beachbody, which I loved that video when I saw it. It's not for everybody, so watch it and see if it speaks to you, and you might know if it might speak to somebody in your life. Christine Dwyer is our actual upline of Team Phoenix, Platinum Presenters. And you can watch that video. I think that's like a 2.5, 3-minute video. And she's a mom and has kids, and she's relating to her success in the business and how that's changed her life. And then the 3rd one is always something that is specific to the person that you're talking to. So if it's a gentleman, I send a coach video from a successful male coach in the business. If it's a college student, for me, here's a video from a college student who's doing the business. There's plenty that you can find online, and also would be our webinar. So our new coaching webinar would be a video that you could send. And then, again, going back up to here. So if so, when do you think you might have time to watch it? And always trying to get that follow-up before you send the video. So that way you can follow up with them with a plan of a day and a time. Great, I will follow up with you on Thursday at this time. Here's the video. That way you don't feel like you've left it open-ended and you feel like you're bothering somebody or anything like that. So you always try and schedule the follow-up before you send the video. And then here's our What is Coaching webinar. This is our upline Megan's webinar. And then you also have our Team Balance Bound webinar, which is also found in the Balance Bound page. And I can show you that in a second. Here's a sample conversation just, about the money disclaimer, it's holidays. And so there's great information on here. I absolutely love this Carl Deichler one. He is the CEO of Beachbody. And this is an incredible podcast on what network marketing is and how he, as the CEO, explains, everything about the company. And it's just nice to be able to hear from the CEO himself. And I know for me, that speaks a lot to be working for a company of such integrity. And then, of course, getting started in training. So these are just all the steps that you would need to get somebody started right in the process of inviting. So we'll go back to Balance Bound. So again, you can find these calls in here, Balance Bound team calls, things like that. So then going back over to my left-hand side, I, of course, have my Coach Basics group up there. If you don't have your Coach Basics group in your favorites, you should put it in there. And you can do it right here. On the left hand, there's a little wheel that says you can remove to your favorites or add to your favorites. We'll go down, and I want to talk about starting a group. So let's talk about starting one of these groups, right? So you see in here, I have my 21-day group that we're doing right now. I have our 5-day group that's just about to get started. And when I want to create a new group, it's right here to create a group. But before I create a group, I always create the event, because the event is what you're going to post on Facebook and share with people. And that's public, where our groups are private. So come down to events and you'll do create an event. This is the first place you're going to start for a clean eating challenge, a 21-day group. Right now, we're going to use an example for our new coach webinar, because this is going to be an upcoming event that we are going to be inviting people to. Actually, we call it What is Coaching? And this is going to be, takes place, and I do this for all of my groups at this point, takes place from the comfort of your home. So people know that haven't done this before, that we're not meeting anywhere, and that is that easy. You can do it from the comfort of your home. So we'll pick the date, and this is going to be Monday the 23rd, and this is going to be at the webinar is actually at 8 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. And now for the description, I'm going to create, and actually let me look up here. So we want to make sure that we don't create a private event, but we create a public event, because we want people to see it. And this will ensure that when people are coming to the event, it'll show up in their news feed or show up on their left-hand side of their bar that they're going to this event. So we always want to create it as public. The host is going to be Christopher, and we want to now add an event photo. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go up to Canva. So we talked about canva.com. This is where I create all of my event photos. You'll see all of my previous posts are in here. And so I'm actually going to keep it simple. Usually I would go up here and I would create a Facebook cover photo. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go down to my previous one that I did before, because I can make it that much easier. And this actually has no date in it, so we're kind of good to do this, but let me walk you through actually what it would be, because I know some of us have never done this before. So we'll go up and let's see, they've added so many. All of these are like brand new. They've added so many, and I wonder if, yes, there is a Facebook event cover photo. So you're going to click on Facebook event cover photo for anytime you're doing an event, clean eating, 21-day group, all of that. And then I'm going to go to my uploads, because that's where I have upload your own images. I can upload any of my images from any of my folders. So I know that I can go to Beachbody. I can go to my coach training, I believe is my folder. It might not be in here. It actually might be. Let me see. Okay. I will start from scratch. I just want to go back really quick and see if I can see. Oh, I can't. Bummer. I wanted to try and, so I usually, just like I said, I would take my old photo and make it super simple. So what I'm trying to do is look back at what I did over here, so I have it as a reference. Okay, so I'm going to go to my uploads, and I saw that my background was like this color. So I'm going to start there, pick my color with my background, and it's simple. You can do this, and I always just use the free ones that are here at the top. And then I'll go back to my uploads, and I can upload an image. I've got my image already here, but you can upload it like I just showed you for my desktop, and you can go to here, and I had this over here like so, and that was just an image, and I did take a risk, become a leader on a separate Canva one before, and so then I wanted to take this and put it to my event, and I used actually this image alone. I created that image as a regular Facebook post so that I could just write a little something and post that I was hosting this in my Facebook newsfeed. Now I'm going to take that post and I'm making the event photo from that. And I simply just go over to text. And you'll see, let's see, if we go back to this one, we can see that I did this one, the secret of, let's see, what does that say? The secret of getting ahead is getting started. So I'm going to go over to here, and do I see that one? Gosh, they have changed this actually too. Well, I could use any of these, right? So basically you can click on this and you can just change the words. So the secret of, and we could do this one for getting ahead. And then I'll go down here and I'll say, is getting started. And then of course I want to make this a lot smaller. And so you just minimize it, and then you make it so that you have the 4 little arrows, and that will allow you, whoops, should allow you to, why isn't it letting me? It should allow you to move the image to anywhere you want, something like that. And then I use just the text. I just use this a lot. It's super simple. So these are all just different sizes of text. You can delete them if you don't need them. Delete. But I basically go in here and I just create my own text. So I'll say balance bound. And here you can create any kind of text that you want. And then the color wheel to pick on your color. I usually don't really go with those colors, and I like to try and match the colors you maybe with the image that I'm wearing. So I'm wearing purple. So I go there and I make that purple. Right? And then I'm just going to come back again and look at my other image. I don't know what this says. Health and fitness, share your gifts. Coaches who change lives, including their own. So, you know, just trying to create an image. Coaches who change lives and change their own. And again, you can just pick whatever, pick a different one. And I'll keep this actually black. I'll make it smaller. And I will minimize it this way, and it will bring it to 2 lines so that it all fits. The 4 arrows mean that I can move it, and this helps me center it. So the lines are there to help me center it, nice and easy. And then here you can change it to left or center, right align. Usually you can bold or italicize depending on the font that you choose. And so we'll just go with that so I don't waste any more of your time. And then basically you go up to the top right and you download it. Download image for the web for JPEG. It saves the design and it downloads it to your computer, and then you'll see it pop up. And it's totally free because I didn't choose anything to use of theirs. I just made it totally free. And so here it pops up, and then I just I export it. To keep it as a JPEG, I just export it as a JPEG and then save it wherever I might want to save it in my files. I'm going to do it to my desktop right now just because I probably won't save that image. Cool. So then we go back to, I lost my whole jam. Where was I? Okay. So then I'm pretty much done. I've made my image. So I close out of Canva. And I will go back to my Facebook page. I will add my event photo. So now let's see if I can find that photo. Question is, where? See, so you need to be a little more organized than me so you can find your photos. But you know what I'm thinking is it actually might be on my laptop. That photo is my guess. Yeah, bummer. So shoot, real quick, I'm going to take you back to Canva because we can go back here and I can download this one again. Oh, you know what? I do want to take this because this has the date on there. So look, I can take this one that I've already created. Okay, here's a good example of taking what I've already created and not redoing it again. I can go over to here and it's going to let me duplicate it. So now I can go down to here and all I have to do is change this date. So it's going to be November 23rd. And that's the What is Coaching Live webinar. And now I can go to download and it will download all 3 of those for me. And all I need is the November 3rd one. So that's a good example of just creating a basic image. And then if you have the date like that, it's super simple to then use it again. And that's great to do for clean eating as well. So I go to my downloads and I'll take the 3rd one here, export it to webinar 1123. And I can save that to my desktop so I can find it real quick. Go back to my Facebook event. Add my event photo, desktop, webinar 1123, choose. And then I'm going to create that. And as well, and I will fill out that description, but what I'm going to do to make it again easier for myself is I'm going to go back up to Facebook and I'm going to search for my previous one, What is Coaching? And I find my October 19th webinar. So I click on that. I click on my description that I posted, and I'm just going to copy and paste this entire thing. So control copy, select all. Then I'm going to go back to my new event, November 23rd. I'm going to go to my, let's see if I go to edit, it's going to let me go to the description. I'm going to paste it all. So it's all there for me. It's all the same information I want. All I have to do is change the date to webinar Monday, November 23rd. And everything else is the same, Monday, November 23rd. And that saves me a lot of time just to duplicate the same thing. And then here is where you'll be able to invite people. So I can invite, what I would do is invite my coaches so that they can all then invite their coaches. So everybody in Balance Bound would be invited to this event, all of our coaches anyway, so that they can then invite people to this event. And we're good to go. And here's also a way that you can invite and share it with specific people. So you can choose friends to share this with. You can share the event on your Facebook page. Yeah, that's pretty much, I think, all you need to know about creating an event. And then at this point, I would take the same stuff and I would use the same event photo and I would use that for my group if this was a 5-day clean eating. So for What is Webinar, just because it's just a call, I don't need to recreate all of this for a group. But if this was a 5-day or a 21-day event that I was promoting, then I would use the same cover photo for my group and I would use the same description to open my group. And it's the same way to invite and it's the same way to share when it comes to the group and things like that. Cool. I'm just going to exit out of the full screen. Yeah, so I think I'm going to stop sharing my screen for now. So that's pretty much how to get started with your 5 days, your 21 days, groups and images. Other than that, like I said, just make sure that you have a Beachbody folder on your desktop somewhere that you're putting everything in. I create new folders for every group that I have. So if I have a 5-day group, I have right now Attitude for Gratitude, 5-day clean eating. And then in there, I have the menus that I'm using for that group. So that way, and I would also put my challengers before and after pictures in that group. I would also put my guidelines in that group, keep everything organized by each 5-day. I do the same for my 21-day, and then the same for coach training. My folders are a little disoriented right now because most of my stuff is actually on my laptop and not on my desktop. And then I have a coach training folder. So that's where you should be saving all of your master documents for training and inviting and things like that. When it comes to inviting, let me show you really quick when you are getting into your Team Beachbody back office. And when you're inviting people to your beachbodycoach.com and you're sending them there to invite or sending them there to purchase. So there's two two options you can do. And we might have mentioned this on the first call, but one of them is coachmobile.teambeachbody.com. Definitely download that to your desktop, your laptop, and your phone. It'll come up like an app on your phone, but it's definitely a website. So go to the website, coachmobile.teambeachbody.com. That is a way for you to actually set anybody up with like a challenge pack purchase or to be a coach. And it's like 2 clicks of the button. You'll need obviously their first and last name. You'll need their email address. And then you'll need what challenge pack they're purchasing, what Shakeology flavor. So the 3 things you primarily need are their email address, their Shakeology flavor, and what they're going to start off with. And then you can do all of that for them and they'll receive a confirmation email that all they have to do is confirm payment. And that makes the guessing out of it. If you're not going to do it that way and you happen to be on the computer at the same time as them, what I'll do a lot of times is I'll walk them through it. And I have this pretty much as a copy and paste now. So let me share my screen really quick. And I'll show you when you go into beachbody.com. So when you send them to Beachbody Coach / your username, you're pretty much going to send them to something that looks like this. It doesn't look 100%. Actually, let me see. Let me go to Beachbody Coach / my username as an example. And they're going to see this, okay? So make sure if your website's not set up, it's set up ASAP because you won't be able to start getting customers from Beachbody unless you have your before and after pictures and you have your bio. So make sure that those 2 things are completed on your website. They will see these 3 buttons. Join is for a free customer, and they can have a free trial of On Demand. And then you can just set up a free account with you so any purchases in the future go there. Coach, obviously, they're signing up as a coach. And shop, this is primarily where most people are going to go. So they're going to click on shop, and it's going to open another window. And most people, you're going to send them to challenge packs. Most people are going to send them to challenge packs. Click on the challenge pack, and they can scroll down to find their challenge pack. Or the monthly promotion, most people you're going to be sending to a monthly promotion. So November promotions, you'll see size is on sale. All they click is buy now. And then it'll take them to what Shakeology flavor they want to purchase as well when they add to the cart. And here's where they can add. And make sure they see the HD, because remember that's how they save the money is the HD. So make sure they have HD when they purchase. So that's sending them to your Beachbody Coach website where they'll have those 3 tabs to choose from. I also send them, if they send them to here, Team Beachbody, they click on Beachbody Challenge Pack. Beachbody Challenge Pack, and then they'll see the challenge packs here and the ones that are on sale. For example, 21 Day Fix Extreme is on sale. So all they need to do is click on 21 Day Fix, add to the cart, and again, they pick it here. So I just walk them through those steps. Click on Shop, Beachbody Challenge, pick on the challenge pack. Okay, at that point, that's pretty much the 2 inviting processes and the process to create your first groups. So I will open it up to questions. If you have any questions at all, you can unmute yourself and ask them now.
Hi.
Hi, Hiles.
Okay, so I have one lady that is interested in the 5-day challenge. And so my question was, okay, so she asked me about it being, she's like, what kind of cleanse is it? And I explained that it wasn't a cleanse, it was a clean eating. And so, I feel like I've answered those questions now. And so what do I do now?
Okay.
Like, should I get back with her? That the last time I spoke with her was this morning.
Okay. Yeah. And so when you responded that it's not a cleanse and explained what it was she like, great, sounds good?
Yeah. So then she messaged me again and she's like, so is it an Eagle? And so, and she goes, and how much does it cost? And so then I said, it's a Facebook group. I explained the whole thing. And I said, it's totally free. And I haven't heard back from her. So I think my question is, it's kind of like, I kind of feel like I should say it's Beachbody, it's Shakeology. But do I not say that?
I don't usually say that unless they come out and ask.
Okay.
Because it's not right now. If she wants to take the next steps, it totally is. But I usually don't say that right in the beginning. As a matter of fact, we have a copy paste as well for that. But at that point, the next step is to fill out a Google form.
Okay.
So I don't know if you've created your Google form or looked that up at all. Mm-hmm. Okay.
But I'll do that.
We can save that for the next call because I don't know how much time we'll have left. But you can, at this point, it's your first time, send her to my Google form. So that's in the event. So if you haven't already, make sure you've invited her to the event. And then what you do is in that event, let me see if I can pull that up real quick, actually, so I can walk you through that too. Okay. So coming into here, I go to my home and I'm going to go to 5-day attitude because you can't make events your favorites. You can only do that with groups. So I always have to go up here to find my event. So up here is 5-day attitude for gratitude. Click on that. And that is going to be, we want this one. So what I did is I ended up making 2 because I accidentally made my first one as private, which I've never done before. So that's why there's 2 of them. So here's where, I posted earlier today that the group is opened. So if all of these people clicked going, they haven't all completed the form yet. So I always do a reminder. Here's the form.
Okay.
So you could copy that and send that to her, but even easier, invite her to the event and tag her name down here. Tag her name. And then she's sure to see that post and just say, tag her name and then say, make sure you complete this Google form and I'll invite you to our group. Can't wait to get started.
Okay.
Just like a positive, here's the Google form, takes 5 minutes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep. And then you would invite her to the group.
That sounds good.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, that sounds great. Yeah, that's all I had right now. I mean, I think I'm fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. Great. Well, I think we got through a lot of great stuff. So thanks for making it on the call. And then we had this call for everybody else to follow up with as well. Okay. You look amazing, by the way, Holly. You look
I was down 25 pounds this morning.
Incredible. Oh my gosh. Yes.
I know. It's awesome. I feel so good.
You look amazing, and you can tell that you feel good, and I'm so excited for you.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Have a great night. Mwah. Love you too. Okay. Bye.